What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Clash of Clans video. A very exciting one, as we have a 5 versus 5 war between Croatian Army and Warzone. You are going to see every single attack in this video back to back. It is going to be non-stop action. We are in for one fantastic war. So let's go ahead and fast forward to the very first attack. We are in for the first attack here, and it is Croatian Army, fresh out of a victory in their first matchup against One Hive. Can they get another one, or will Warzone bounce back and get themselves the victory? It looks like they are starting off with the miners, and we did see this from Croatian Army against One Hive. I will be sure to link that at the end of this if you guys missed it, but they have that 4 earthquake spell combination as well. Pretty much would provide direct access in towards the Eagle and the Queen, so pretty nice there. Already sniping off a few buildings with wizards, bowlers, minions, that kind of good stuff, and in comes the Queen. You can see exactly where we're going, like we said, straight in towards the Eagle, straight in towards the Queen and the clan castle troops. Look at the area of the base, which is opened up via the 4 earthquake spells, and again, you will see every single attack here back to back right the way through. 12v12 action, just a 5v5 war. What a one this is going to be, and what a fantastic opener we have already by FH of Croatian Army, taking down that enemy Queen right into that area, just sitting back that little bit whereby the multi-infernos cannot quite hit the Queen. LavaHound stalls him a little bit, but he's able to send that minion in to support the healers, and we will be in towards the Eagle artillery. Miners will be starting relatively soon, presumably over probably either to the town hall or down here to this multi. Let's see which angle he decides to go with here. The healers are taking damage from that multi, so would be nice to get the miners in. Here they come. Interesting from that left hand side. I thought either he would come in from the town hall or to the multi. I would have probably came in a little bit quicker to try and protect that Queen, but he wanted the pathing a little bit better for the miners up towards the town hall, and he is assured to get that. The king is going to blast his ability down that outside of the base, force the miners in. Again, with this one attack style war, you cannot get a 1-star. You are really giving yourself a mountain to climb. So the miners move forward. They're going to snipe off that town hall relatively easily and charge on forward towards the multi, but with 2 wizard towers, a bomb tower, 2 multi-infernos, and only 34 seconds on the clock, FH is unfortunately not quite going to get this one done. Like we said, I love the 4 earthquake spells that we've seen from Croatian Army, charging that Queen in. Super effective, and he's still going to get a beautiful percentage here to kick things off, really trying to delay with that balloon until the air defense went down. Going to be upwards of almost 90%, going to just fall shy. Gets a good split on the miners to try and take down them buildings, 89%, so it is shy, but definitely a solid attack to start Croatian Army off. And what can Warzone 68 do on response? We are in, it is Shanks of Warzone 68, and it looks like the Queen charge into LavaLoon is the method of choice. This little kind of teaser area to the bottom of the base here, bound to be loaded with traps, has a couple of giants and wizards to start that funnel, and the king at the most eastern portion of the base to walk up there, and we can send the Queen directly in towards the multi, and the Eagle has 1 jump spell here, nothing else other than the slammer, able to use it here to provide access straight into them long channels where you can get access to the multi, to the Eagle, to the Queen. Such good value there from just 1 jump spell, and set the funnel up absolutely perfectly. A very good start here by Warzone. They will be very much happy with this so far. A LavaHound comes out the CC. Definitely one of them defenses which tries to slow down the Queen charge. A Queen charge very powerful and very popular at the moment. The LavaHound aims to slow it down, aims to just burn a little bit of time. You don't really have too much of an issue getting through it. As you can see here, Shanks takes it out, charges on forward, and in a second, he is going to come in line with the queen. Unfortunately, that one builder hut was incredibly placed to pull the queen down there and out of the way. And where is she going? Why would the queen do that? No, the jump spell was inactivated and that builder hut pulled her down out of the way, and then she couldn't see the enemy queen up top. Shanks, from such a fantastic start, didn't quite get that, loses a lava hound as well as it flies all the way to the top of the base. He's at 43%, nothing to activate the town hall, so minions are quickly in here to try and activate it before his loons and slammer gets too far ahead of it. He's at 50%. Now it activates, but this is trouble, guys. I don't think he can get it. Grand Warden's ability has to be pressed to help the loons, and they just about get it. The Grand Warden's ability was the savior there. Had to use the rage, and the Grand Warden's ability was perfectly timed in order to get that town hall. From here, it's all about trying to get the percentage, and he might even get relatively close to the attack of Croatian army. Scary moment there for Warzone. Definitely struggling towards that town hall. Did everything right, but you've got to give the defender credit as well. That builder hut, in the middle of the base, no joke. That was to try and pull the queen, as it did. And actually, this attack is going to put Warzone in the lead, as they will get 90+% here. Imagine if the queen had have took out the enemy queen and went to the north of the base. If the hound hadn't have been lost across the top, 93% definitely would have been close to a 3. We are on for one heck of a war here, guys. Croatian army are back in, and let's see what they have this time. They are using the Hog Riders. Apostle coming in here with the hero dive, is it? Just a little bit of a push. He does have a jump spell, and he's got the 2 Peckers, so he is going to push relatively deep into the base. And you can see following that town hall, it gives him access to that compartment with the multi, with the queen, with the king, the CC, the eagle artillery, plenty of value there. Now comes the queen behind the ice golem. We have the bowlers, the Peckers. This is one massive kill squad, and that rage spell is going to be used. There it is, coming in. Perfect funnel to send all of the bowlers forward. Grand Warden's ability nicely used to tank the eagle artillery and the Giga Tesla. A couple of bowlers do move around to this side. Hopefully they redirect. They don't. They go through the wall, but it should be enough here as one Pecker charges forward, takes down the eagle, and gets to work on the enemy queen. That was beautiful play there. Very unfortunate as well for the second Pecker, not quite to get this wizard tower. Would have been nice for the splash damage, but also the pathing. Enemy queen doesn't get the multi, or the enemy queen, the attacking queen, should we say. So that is a major threat now. It's really because of the bowlers at the bottom there. Had they have gone into the base, that area was crushed. Hog Riders having a difficult time here. He's already lost a couple of them, but as they move forward, they take down the multi. They now have to contend with the enemy queen. Pops a heal spell there to try and help. He will follow with another one at this top area, but how much percentage can he clean around the outside of the base with Teslas and a bomb tower at the most northern area, archer towers towards the right hand side? Not easy in order to pick up percent as the Hog Riders fall. It was a comfortable 2-star strategy. Anytime you are pushing in heavily with a kill squad, you are pretty safe on that 2-star. But unfortunately, the bowlers walked. The jump spell could have been placed a little bit more to draw them in, but they walked. He didn't get that middle area, and it's an unfortunate one, but a 69% 2-star still keeps Croatian army on track. We are in with Warzone, and they are trying to take advantage now. They have just managed to get through that first attack, get the town hall, but with that added confidence, we've seen this base or a very similar one not too long ago, and I'm pretty sure we saw the kill squad into this area and the Hog Riders blast straight the way down it. But let's see how Warzone come at it, using the king over one side of the base, the ice golem to try and help the funnel on the other side. Queen going to come in, gets an air defense, might get the wizard tower as well, but for the Sui Lalo, I'm pretty sure that he's just trying to narrow the base here, and it's not a Sui Lalo. I didn't even see the Electro Dragons in the army composition. This is what's known as a YOLO-tron attack. Couldn't get my words out there, guys. A YOLO-tron attack. So you're sending in a couple of E-Drags, and then you're cloning them as well. Decides not to clone them in this one, but that's where them added ones are for. But they are drawn across to the Lava Hound somehow, which is not good, because he wants the enemy queen down. Might get lucky. Oh, he missed it. Missed the queen, missed the eagle. The E-Drags are distracted and not doing anything. And they have activated the town hall as well, guys, so that is not good. Again, Warzone having to think on the fly here and correct. So sends in a thick lot of balloons behind the hounds to the town hall, pops that ability, very nicely done to get through that, and the 1-star, and now coming up to the 2-star is pretty safe. Nowhere to go at this point. There's no chance he can get this done. The Electro Dragons were meant to be on the eagle, which could have got pretty good chain value from there, but the funnel just wasn't created enough for them. Battle Blimp might have been a better option to get him into that area, but tried to use the slammer to take out the multi en route, and it's not going to be as high of a percentage as we saw with Croatian Army. So a tense start here, guys. 2 stars across the board, 2 very good attacks to start with, and a couple of other shaky ones following that, not quite matching the percentage of the first attack. This one is going to be approximately 69%, I would guess. Might hit the 70 if he is fortunate, so still keeps them in the game. But it's all about the 3 stars, because so far within the Clash Cup League, we have not had a war won where the clan have not got the 3 stars. So who is going to be first? It's not Warzone at the minute. It's not their attack. 73% still trying to push with this minion. Is it worth it, or does he swap to the Builder Hut? Decides to sneak in for the Builder Hut. Can he get it? He will. It's 74% for Warzone, and that gives Croatian Army the chance to bounce back and get that 3-star. We have the attack from Alex of Croatian Army. Let's just see if he can get this with the drag bat attack strategy. One of my favorite attacks. Baby Dragon goes down very quickly to the black air bomb, and wizards get popped off here from the Teslas as well. Pops the king's ability, but after it was locked onto his king. So fortunate there for the king to get out of range of that single inferno. I thought he might have committed a freeze spell there as well. Unfortunately though, he does go back in range of it despite all of the barbarians, but the funnel is created. The queen walks through, she gets that air defense, and that is exactly what he wants here for the drag bat attack. Trying to now just start off with a couple of dragons, set the funnel for his main pack, because he's sending the slammer into the town hall. Look, in it comes. That will absorb the fire of the single. Unfortunate, because had he have been able to send in a couple of loons, the slammer wasn't under any danger there. He could have probably activated the town hall and took that out with the slammer alone and sent the dragons through this area. I'm not quite sure why he didn't do that, but in come the bats anyway. Could have used the... Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think he could have hit these wizard towers a little bit better with the bats. Let's just see, with the dragons, sorry. Let's just see if he gets it as the bats come through. He freezes the wizard tower very early on the other freeze there as well for the wizard tower, but he has lost a lot of his bats. Freezing the wizard tower and the air defense. I would have probably gone for the single inferno here instead, falling short at 60%. Obviously, he's going to get some more percentage on the outside. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe I have to watch that again. I don't know why he wouldn't sui the town hall with his slammer, do the bats and send the dragons into this area with the wizard towers. Not quite sure what the plan was there. Gets the safe 2-star. Alex getting it done, does what he needs to do, keeps his clan in it, but really what one of these clans needs now is a 3-star to really push the other clan against the wall and put themselves in the driving seat. The percentage is going to finish off here at around about 70%. They are still going, waiting for every single percentage with only 5 attacks. Every building does matter, and it is going to be 70% before the archer and the dragon get picked off. And then, can he sneak the builder's hut? He's going to, you know. The dragon has enough health to sneak the builder's hut. 71% for Croatian army. Right, we have the next attack. It is Warzone, and someone has to take advantage here. So many missed opportunities so far. Can Warzone be the ones that get that 3-star and get this done? Nerves are building for either clan, so one of them has to break that and get a 3-star. The E-Drag nicely used on that right-hand side. Got a little bit of damage onto the air defense, but not quite going to take it down just yet. Might get fortunate. Helps the queen with that archer tower. E-Drag redirects. Would have been nice for it to take out that Tesla, so he has to use a loon, but does end up getting it with the lightning from the E-Drag. Very early on the rage there initially for the queen charge, sending in that wizard to help with the king and the LavaLoon. Definitely early on that minion as well. I'm not sure what that is about. Trying to help as the lava hound pops, but just too early on it. There we go. Now a little bit more controlled, able to help out. The jump spell already in position, and the queen will go straight into that area. He's got the funnel either side, but which way does she go? Will she actually go to the town hall here, or will she continue to be drawn up and around? As we move through, uses the ability to get through the queen, taking damage from the eagle, hits the clan castle, moves on through. Is she going to turn to the town hall, or does she keep moving? She's not. She is going to move up and to the top, and I think he had covered this area to try and allow the queen to the town hall. He is only at 46%, so as the hogs come through, he has to save onto that slammer or some extra hogs for the town hall. It is going to be the slammer, which is the smart option, but the hogs do redirect here, and he can use that ability to get them through. Only just mind the maxed level Grand Warden helping out there with them extra little bit of time with that ability. Slammer used down to these defenses on the side. Moving forward here, Hog Rider not quite, or it is going to get the air defense, which helps the slammer. It is looking good here. He's got a lot of hogs coming through this area. He's got more in the slammer, hits the tornado trap unfortunately, and now he has no answer. If the healers go down here, it could be trouble, but I'm pretty sure he's got this, guys. The healers keep the hogs alive through the final wizard tower. Only a few defenses remain. 35 seconds. Cleanup troops are already in. As we zoom out, there are no buildings on the inside, and you guys can start to get some hype for Warzone. We did talk about the experience that they had. They've got bags and bags of it, and under the nerves, they are able to get a 3-star here. We've got to make sure that time isn't an issue, but I'm pretty sure he's got this as he moves through. It is going to be close though. Gets a good split on the Hog Riders and gets a couple of them to start chipping away at this Dark Elixir drill. Otherwise, it could have been close, but he gets the 3-star. He puts Warzone in the driving seat, but Croatian army did beat One Hive last week, so they do have the experience and the talent to come back here. They are behind on percentage by 8% as well, so they have to get a 3-star here. Only 2 attacks remain from each clan. We have Danny of Croatian army bouncing back, trying to get themselves the 3 and bring themselves back into the game. It is the LavaLoon starting out here with a couple of loons to very smartly take down that archer tower, push the king over to this other side to help with the funnel. Has 5 wall breakers where he is going to be busting in here to hopefully get the multi, pressing forward towards the queen and the eagle there as well, but probably not going to get as far as the eagle for that. Let's see how far he gets. He just about gets through that area, and he is just going to go for the multi. Not sure if he'll reach the queen from here. I assume he wants to, but it depends on where she stands. He might get unlucky here. Hopefully, he can indeed get the queen. Easily going to get the multi here. The X-bow firing onto the queen. Not going to get anywhere near that queen. And he doesn't have a skelly spell for her. Wow, let's see what happens here then. Can he get this done? Queen is going to go down in a second, nowhere near the enemy queen. Where will he start the LavaLoon? Sends in the slammer. He's got to have a dragon within that. He's got to have something to take down that queen, or this could be a nightmare for him. I'm sure that this wasn't an oversight. Danny will know that he wasn't going to get that queen, and he certainly does, as he has the rage, the freeze, everything in that area to help his troops. It's an electro dragon. I would have thought dragons might have been a safer option, but the E-Drag under rage is going to get it. Not sure how much more value other than the queen it will get. Gets a little bit of damage onto the eagle and does nearly get it down. Very good there as he moves through with the LavaLoon. Didn't quite get it though, so it's not quite enough. Moving through, still has a couple of loons to the town hall, presses it early, the eagle, or the Grand Warden, sorry, and he's just going to get the town hall with that. That was incredibly fortunate because he might have struggled to get that done afterwards. He would have had to haste loons to it. He'd have had to try everything and just about clips it. That is the second time we have seen that, but it's not what Croatian army need, because they need a high percentage. They need a 3-star. They are starting to let this slip away, and with only one attack for them remaining, are they going to be able to pull this back? 75% it is going to close out as, because with the haste, the 2 goblins and the wizard, they really need a miracle, and it's not enough to take down the base. Where's he going to go with it? The wizard gets the extra percent. Minions take that down. 76 it will be, but it still leaves Croatian army quite a long way behind on percentage here. Plus they need the star. They've got to pull something out in this last attack. We are in for Warzone, who can hopefully put this thing to bed. If they get a 3-star here, it is almost guaranteed that Warzone are going to take the victory, and they're coming in with the Hog Riders again. You've just seen them 3-star with it. Couple of loons helping to create that funnel for the queen coming into the base. 5 wall breakers will be enough to send her in, but I'm pretty sure he would have wanted to get a little bit further in, or that could have, I don't know. I would have probably tried to wall break into the town hall compartment. I know it's a bit more difficult, and then the jump could have been a little bit more effective, but he's got the jump anyway in order to provide access. But I would have probably thought trying to wall break in might have been a better option. Comes in with the poison here. King moves on to the inside of the base, so he is going to steal the healers here. Is that going to be an issue moving forward? He's working on the wall to try and get into the town hall, so he's going to get access anyway. What am I talking about with wall breakers when you can just redirect your king into the base? Of course he had that planned. MK Rage going ham here onto this town hall, going to get it down, but he did lose a few healers within that process, so that's not ideal. Rages to try and keep that queen alive, but with the ability, he's going to have to burn it early here. Gets fortunate because the king continued to tank. Pops the ability once he gets over near the queen, but she's not going to get too much further than that. Might help out with a sweeper, but I don't think she's going to get any more value than that. Didn't quite get the multi or the wizard tower. Imagine if them healers hadn't have gone down and the queen got that eagle. Would have been nice. Sends Hog Riders in from each and every angle, but I think he's spread them too far here, guys. The Hog Riders take a huge amount of damage when they're not quite in a group, so you can see that top portion presses the ability, but nearly all of them are gone. Does manage to get some of them into the middle, but spread the Hog Riders just too much there and not quite able to get the DPS from them that you can when they are in a group. So that is what Croatian army needed. Croatian army needed a defense, and they needed to hold the percentage down. So they've got the defense. It is going to be around about 65%. So definitely a good result there for Croatian army. Means that if they get a 3-star, they can still get this done, guys. It's not over yet. 67% it is. Where did that percentage come from? Is he going to go for a builder hut or the gold mine at the top with the wizard slowly waiting and deciding, and goes for the gold mine because it was indeed out of reach? There we have it. 68% will conclude it for Warzone. And before we get into the final 2, let's have a quick look at percentage. Warzone is straight 6% in the lead. So Croatian army need to get the 3-star, and a base is worth 20% overall. So you can work that one out, guys. They need to hold Warzone back to probably about less than 70%, and they need the 3. 2 more attacks remain. Let's find out what's going to happen. We have the final attack here of Croatian army. They've got to get a 3-star, and they are counting on the miners. Now, in the previous war where they beat one hive, they did use the miners, and they got 2 3-stars with it. So we know they can use this army. They've got to get it done. They need a 3-star, and they need to hold Warzone to a lower percentage. Probably less than about 70% is what they need to hold them to. Starting out with a couple of loons, very successfully gets the archer tower, allows the baby dragon to help with the funnel, and in comes the P.E.K.K.A to help alongside the wizard. So he's got a pretty good amount of damage moving around the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, sorry, don't know my left or right, of the base. And he's going to clear out that entire bottom section. You can see the 4 earthquake spells. Again, they like this, and I like that they like it, because I think it's pretty cool. I've been trying to practice it myself. Means that as long as you create the funnel on either side, you can literally just push your queen straight in. Look at that. He's got the funnel on the left, beautifully done. And on the right-hand side, queen is literally going to beeline from that side to the eagle, to the enemy queen, to the clan castle troops. There are a lot of Teslas there. So he's got to be ready with the rage and with the queen's ability. Has to be held onto, but the eagle locks onto the healers, manages to get that down pretty early. Gets a poison in ahead of time, which allows him to slow down the queen, but also then hit the stuff coming out of the clan castle. And it's a good mix here. Queen taking a lot of damage, pops the ability, has to get through these troops and try and get an expo pretty quickly, because she is going to take major damage from the expos, and the Grand Warden steps out of way of the Grand Warden, and that is very nice value from the queen charge. Beautiful pathing for the miners. She steps up to that multi, and she still keeps going. This is looking incredibly good, guys. It's more about time at this point. 60%. Miners move through to the town hall. Is he going to pop the Grand Warden's ability here, because they're taking a lot of damage? There was skellies there. I was going to say Eagle Artillery, but the Giga Tesla does a lot of damage onto the miners. I think he's too late on the Grand Warden's ability there. Presses it because the Grand Warden took a lot of damage, and I think he wanted to save onto it, but I would have probably used it ahead of time. The Queen still keeps on going, but the miners have all fallen. It looked so good, but the miners took too much damage. He had to press that ability earlier, probably even needed a poison to get rid of them skellies a little bit quicker. And unfortunately for Croatian army, although the Queen stands strong after taking out so much of the base, they're not going to get this, and it means even on stars they cannot catch up. But can Warzone indeed get another one? Because this entire tournament is not necessarily based on wins, but on total stars, and Croatian army did get 12 stars in their previous war, so still on in the running here. Can Warzone get another one and put themselves in a beautiful position? Here we are. They are going to come in pretty quickly. It is Warzone. They need the 2-star, and that is it. That closes things out, and it is an off-centered town hall, so it's pretty easy here to get the 2 stars. They would need a complete mess up in order to lose this war. It is Warzone's war to lose. However, remember, the entire league is based on stars, very much like the in-game clan war leagues, so they will still be gunning for the 3 stars. Yes, they'll be wanting the save 2 to just win the war, give them confidence, but the 3 is what they need. As we come in with the king starting us off, it is the queen charge into the LavaLoon, and he has 7 wall breakers, so going to be wall breaking relatively deep here, probably through both of these layers. There is the first one. Freezes the multi. Has to get the wall breakers in quick. Get through one layer. Is he going to have enough time to get through the next one? He's not, but he gets a little bit of damage, which is good. And assumably when he uses a rage, he'll also use the wall breakers. Or that's what I would have thought. In they come. There we go, there's that rage, beautiful stuff, but just a little bit too late, and the queen decides to leave the compartment. So did get the multi, but he's going to have to adapt, put the jump spell into this area in order to give him access to the queen and to the eagle artillery. It's not what he wanted, but it's definitely easy to fix this. It does just mean that he leaves an air defense behind. No minion in order to help. There it is, just a little bit delayed. Does lose a healer because of that, and as the queen moves forward, we will see that jump spell soon. Got to try and cut off the funnel here as well, so the queen doesn't walk, but she shouldn't. The buildings are quite far apart. Pops the ability and decides to just leave it there. As the healers have gone down, he's not going to commit another rage spell to that area. He's just going to save it and try and maximize on percentage here, because he doesn't have an option to take down the queen, unless again he has a backup plan in that slammer. But based on what we've seen with the jump spell and the wall breakers, I highly doubt it, because he clearly wanted the queen into that area. Lava hounds come in very quickly in order to tank, with the slammer doing a bit of tankage as well, and easily going to get the town hall here. Balloon spread, Grand Warden's ability delayed a little bit. I would have potentially used it a little bit earlier, but he does want to save it moving through here. But often I think you've got to weigh up what is behind the town hall versus that does a lot of damage to the loons, and they were taking a lot of damage. As you can see, they are low health coming out of the back of it, and they do go down relatively quickly. Gets the comfortable 2-star, did what he needed to do to win the war, and he's going to close out with approximately 71-72% here. Didn't quite get another 3-star, but it is Warzone that are going to take the victory in this one, and I hope you have enjoyed this format of war. If you want to see more, be sure to follow, but also you can check out the Clash Cup League over on Twitter to find out everything you need about the league matches. The archer is not going to get the elixir storage before it gets fried from the eagle artillery. And that is all of the attacks, guys. 11 for Warzone, 10 for Croatian Army. Had them on percentage as well. So GG to Warzone. But until next time, guys, peace out.